Hi all, this is a bit of a departure from my usual triathlon stuff, but I've been a big UFC fan since back in the Gracies. I occasionally practice some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When the Gracies started UFC, occasionally I do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Not very good, but I do enjoy the challenge. But I thought I'd point out some observations of where I think Conor lost the mental game, or the final straw that broke Conor's mental game before the fight. He obviously couldn't rattle Khabib, and he was trying everything to try and rattle him and get him to react, but Khabib never bit once. So anyway, let's get on with this weigh-in, and I'll point out where I think things went mentally wrong.
UFC champion, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Notice here that he's not walking in a normal way. He's really trying to posture up. He's making sure his lats are flexed out, making him look bigger than he actually is. If you compare this to him being in fight, he looks much bigger here than he does the next day. But anyway, just pointing that out. So right here, you'll notice this is where Conor's looking. He's looking up at the top left screen from the center stage. If you're standing on the stage, looking out towards the crowd, where he's looking up directly, he's not looking up at fans. He's looking at himself on the big screen there. Now we'll compare this to how Khabib enters the arena. And I think it shows a flaw in Conor and his attitude towards the fight. For him, it's all about him, and it's all about how he looks, rather than how he's going to perform on the night. A certain lack of focus, I would say. And there again, another look. And you probably just missed, there was a third look there, just in the space of 2 seconds. And just as he's taking off his jumper, there's a long look for about 3 or 4 seconds. Check it out, up at the camera, looking at himself, making sure he looks good. I've turned down the volume slightly. Again, just puffing himself up, make him look big. And there again, here we go. Let's keep looking, make sure he's acting according to script. I've got no doubt that all this was very scripted, of how he was going to come out, how he wants to look, how he wants to be perceived. It's all about the money, all about the look, all about the brand. Now, okay, so you have Khabib coming in. Now, have a look at the difference in focus. Now, I believe this particular scene was actually staged between what's his name? Bald dude. I've forgotten his name right now. In the middle, and Conor. You'll notice that Dana. That's it. Dana is very specific and seems to know what's about to happen, well ahead of it happening, and he starts saying, don't touch, before anything. So I believe that Dana and Conor had spoken about what was going to go on, and hence why the whole holding him back act was put on. But, you know, I suppose they want to sell pay-per-views. So it's becoming very WWE UFC at the moment, especially with Conor. Other fighters are more serious and take it. Don't do so many theatrics. And Dana is very quick to tell the opposition to stay back when it's very clear that it should be that the Russian, if you want to say Russian side, aren't reacting at all, and it's all about the Conor theatrics. Notice again here that Conor makes sure that his antics have been caught on camera. He's so self-aware about how to get the camera, focused on him, and that it's all been captured. Khabib the whole time is just focused on himself, and seems, he's ready for the fight the following night. And here we have Conor looking up at the big right screen, again facing the crowd. There's two screens. There's one in the upper left, and this time Conor's making sure he's looking, quote unquote, right for the screen. I personally think this is, he's just not focused. I don't think many other fighters show this level of ego, and we'll have to see in his next fight whether he'll demonstrate the same lack of focus going into a fight. He believed his own hype. He didn't take this Khabib seriously, and paid the ultimate price, really. Still looking. And this is the crucial moment, I think, where Conor lost the fight. I'll play it back a couple of times because I want it to sink in before I explain why.
What does it feel like to be back? What does this fight mean to you?
Don't let that smelly rap put that hot on your head, Joe. The smell of that fucking thing. Don't ever let him put that hot on your head. It's good to be back. UFC fighters.
Okay. Did you listen to what he said there? I'll go back. See if I can find it specifically. Back to about here.
What does this fight mean to you?
Don't let that smelly rap put that hot on your head, Joe. The smell of that fucking thing. Don't ever let him put that hat in your head. It's good to be back. UFC fans, it's good.
Again, one last time.
What does this fight mean to you?
Don't let that smelly rat put that hat on your head, Joe. The smell of that fucking thing.
So, in my mind, the fact that Conor mentions the putting of Khabib's hat on Joe's head, which only happens when Khabib has won a fight, means that subconsciously Conor has already lost the mental game, because he's already visualized in his head that Khabib is going to put his Dagestan hat on Joe Rogan's head. I mean, apart from the fact that it's, you know, a very horrible thing, horrible, unprofessional thing to say, and Joe Rogan laughing along. You know, those are side points, and you know, the UFC really needs to address how fighters talk to each other, and how they talk about each other's families and things that aren't related to the fight, religion, country, politics, etc. I don't personally, I don't believe that there's a need for that amongst professional athletes. You don't see it in any other sport, and I don't think it's necessary in boxing. I don't think it's necessary in mixed martial arts. But that's by the by. It's my own opinion. But at this point, as I said, because he's visualized that the hat is going to be on Joe Rogan's head, he's already visualized in his head subconsciously, this has slipped out, that he's lost the fight. So you'll
Never let him put that hat in your head. It's good to be back. UFC fans, it's good to be.
one last thing to point out.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. See you tomorrow night. Conor McGregor.
Just that 1 second behind there. There, I don't know if you just saw it. He just had a one last peek before the camera now shifts to Khabib and his speech about the next night, about smashing Conor McGregor, and which he did. So I'm looking forward to seeing who Khabib fights next, also who McGregor fights next. Will they match McGregor up with somebody who's more stand-up, so he's got a better chance of knocking that person out? McGregor, I've always felt that McGregor was all show and no substance. As Khabib said in the lead up, if you don't knock me out in the first 2 rounds, what are you going to do? And basically, that's been proven to with McGregor time and again. I'm of the opinion that the second Diaz fight was also just a money-making scheme so they can set up a third fight. I don't think that fight was a true representation of both Diaz or Conor's abilities. And it was just for Diaz to make some money, really. I think he could have beaten McGregor just as he did in the first time. Wear him out, gas him, and time and again, when Conor's gassed, he taps out. He's there for the quick buck and the quick finish. Once it goes past the second or third round, I don't believe, and I think history will prove me correct in the next few fights, that once they take him past that second, third round, he doesn't have the stamina or the skills. His ground game is poor. At least Khabib and other MMA fighters are proper mixed martial artists. They really have a more well-rounded game, and that will become more evident. Anyway, Just wanted to point that out. I hope other people, other MMA fans, enjoyed this little talk, observation. It's a bit late, I know, probably about a month after the fight now. If you, make sure you like the video, and if you like triathlon, endurance sports, then subscribe. All right, bye.